my goodness. Welcome back to Influenced by Kim. I'm your host, Hofi Kim Cohen Myers, and I am so excited for this episode. We are recording this episode from my brand new home, and what a feeling, you guys. I have wanted to record so many podcast episodes in the last few months, and I kind of had, but it just wasn't the right time. And I knew it and I felt it, but you know that feeling sometimes. I don't know, I guess since I've lived in Miami, a lot of this has been happening, but there is sometimes you go through things in life where you think oh, this is gonna be a short little thing, right? I don't know, you might be going through a depression or something with your family or something with your health or something that you believe in the timeline is minimal, even though it appears serious. You're like, oh, okay, this is gonna end in 2 weeks. This is gonna be over in a month. This is gonna be over in a week. And it just keeps lasting longer and longer than you've ever expected. And you're kind of like, am I fucking out of this phase or am I still in it? I'm not sure. I'm in the in-between phase. When is this over? Is it over? Am I in the healing phase right now? I think I am, but then you realize that you're not. And it just I don't know, another, 2 weeks pass. You're like, okay, I think now I'm in the healing phase. But then nope. And then it's just this ongoing thing where God and the universe is telling you to be patient. And you're just like, where the fuck is the end of the tunnel? I can't see the light. What is happening? So that's kind of how the last, a year and a half has been. That's so fucking ridiculous in my brain because I'm such a go-getter. I know how to quantum leap. I know how to cheat time and space. I know how to manifest like fucking crazy. And yet, sometimes life will just take you through the motherfucking ringer and just tear you the fuck apart. And when you think that you've had enough, it's like, no, you can handle more. And you're like, I can't. And it's like, you can. And you're just screaming and crying and fighting, why the fuck is this still happening to me? What is going on? Make it stop. And it just doesn't. Damn, I bet you didn't think you're going to get that kind of a podcast episode. That's where the fuck I've been. I kept recording podcast episodes. And, if there's one thing you should know about me, I always kind of make light of really serious shit that's really intense, because life is already serious as is. I definitely could have not been speaking like this a month ago, let alone a half a year ago. But the thing is as I hit record, I see a podcast episode from August 17th that I recorded. I'm very familiar with that date and what I recorded. And it's wild how I thought that the journey, and it's almost over. The test, the lesson, the darkness is almost over. And little did the fuck did I know what was waiting on the other side. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about? And sorry, there's going to be a lot of fuck, because you know what? This year has been fucked up. Nevertheless, I'm going to keep it light, but currently. But gosh, can we knock wood? Knock wood. I don't want to wake up the fam because I tend to record these podcast episodes in the middle of the night, but I single-handedly had the most horrific year of my life. Yeah. The worst. The worst of the worst of the worst. And may it forever, God willingly, be the worst year of my life ever. Because if I have to endure anything close to what I endured this year, I don't know. I don't want to be extreme, but I don't think I could make it. I just knock wood. May that be the worst. May that be the worst. There's so much to uncover. There's so much to catch up on. there are things that I'm going to share moving forward. That's really crazy and dark and nuts and insane and might sound like a movie and like just crazy. I never, ever thought that any of these things would happen to me. And a lot of them were out of my fucking control, which made me even crazier because you guys know me. I'm a control freak. I'm proud of it. Not proud of it, but like I can own my shit. My goodness. There's a lot that I've wanted to share that I've wanted to share, but then I also felt like, was it mine to share? And it kind of kept me in this weird miscellaneous gray area, which I do not like to be in the gray area. God willingly, may this be the light. And it feels like it's been the light. So, it's a rainy day. My beautiful windows have like raindrops on them. And I'm in my dining room slash, we're calling it like a dining room slash office-ish area. We have this beautiful, beautiful wooden table. It's my favorite piece of anything, like furniture-wise, that I own. I like won't get rid of this for the life of me. I'm just like completely obsessed with this piece of art of a wood dining room table. And I lit up 2 candles that are melting in a very graceful 1800, 1700 way. When the wax is just melting and the candle light is just long and perfect and not moving on these beautiful vintage candlesticks. Wow, such a poet. And I had to set the mood right. I'm like, I don't know if I can record a podcast episode without turning on candles, because it's a must have. But I just wanted to give you guys a description of the vibe so that you're in it with me. Wow. I sit here and I'm kind of blown away. So what day is today? December 9th, 2025. Gosh, the worst year of my life. I hope you had a wonderful year, by the way. But I believe that last year at this time, I started this podcast. And like, holy fuck. Like, I'm just going to reiterate the fact that like, had I known like what the fuck was about to be thrown at me, like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I would have survived that. It's just crazy, like, what a year it has been. What 100 years it has been this year. But on the flip side and the beautiful side of things is I'm in a new era, and I'm kind of in this like comeback era, but also reinventing myself era, also the identity shift era. This year is year 1 for me. So in numerology, there's 9 different years. There's like 9-year cycle. This is my year 1, which I actually thought was very aligned. It made a lot of sense considering the fact that last year I had gotten married, and it just felt like, on my 9th year, like, so in numerology, 9 years is a cycle. And so, your first and second years in your life, you have to calculate like your the year that you were born versus the year that's now. It's like this whole thing. But year 1 and 2 is like new beginnings. And then it's like, it's just like the numbers, right? And so towards like year 7, it's like kind of towards the end of something. And year 8, you're really wrapping it up. And year 9, you're like closing chapters, and like you're stepping into a brand new cycle of your life. And so I'm now on year 1, and it just like, it made so much sense to me considering that like last year, it's so confusing, the years, but because in 2024 I got married, but now it's 2025, but it's about to be 2026 in like a couple of days. Like, it's just what life and time. But yeah, it made sense, and I was very looking forward to this new era that I knew was coming, right? Like after you get married, there were a lot of things that we had anticipated. Like we knew that we wanted to move. We knew we wanted to start a family. We knew that we also closed a lot of chapters. We stopped talking, me and my husband, me and Benny, stopped talking to our fathers. There was a lot of endings of a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships. Um, a lot of things ended. And like last year, but fuck, like what the hell? Like time's not linear. So like last year, it's like when you say last year, it's kind of like 2 years in one. It's like it's like half, yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like half 20. Like where does a timeline actually start if time doesn't really exist? Like, does it start like, you know what I mean? It's funny. Yesterday I was asking ChatGPT, I asked Google some questions about like ovulation and stuff. And like there's this thing where um after you ovulate, the chances of getting pregnant are lower. And it said that the chances are between 0 to 11% if you like have sex like after you ovulate. And I was like, okay, but like, so it basically said that the day after you ovulate, your chance goes to like 0 to 11%. And I was like, I'm a math person. I'm a curious soul. I know time does not exist. So what the fuck does that actually mean? Like, how do you actually, you don't actually know when the egg is released. So you can be like on your ovulation day, but like, when does the 12 hours start? When does the 24 hours start? Like, what if your egg released itself at 6 p.m.? and you're saying it has 12 hours on your ovulation day? Then that means that the next day you could also get pregnant. But no, linear time says you can't. It doesn't make sense. So it kind of fucked with ChatGPT. About that. And he was like, yeah, you're actually smart. You're actually right. There's no actual exact time when an egg is actually released. So just like that, it's like yes, time doesn't really exist. But anyways, I knew that I was gonna be up against a lot of new things this year. I knew that this year was gonna be full of new beginnings. I just did not know what the fuck that actually full blown meant. Jesus Christ. And you know what? It almost feels like part of this year was like year 9. There were a lot of things that had to happen before I get to step into this new era of my life. And like I said, a lot of them aren't even in my control. It's just always the thing that drives me craziest in life. But that's a conversation for a different day. So essentially, there were a lot of things that happened this year that felt like year 9, but I knew that it was going to be year 1 and I was expecting a lot of new beginnings. I just didn't, like, I guess, full-blown comprehend that, like, new beginning also comes with a lot of endings, unfortunately. I mean, whatever. Like, is it unfortunately? Like, I don't know. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is happening to us, not everything, is happening for us, not to us. So, take it with a grain of salt. This year, I had endured, I felt like I was like MK Ultra, like someone MK Ultra'd me, psychologically tortured me physically, mentally, and emotionally. I think that the only thing was missing was literally sending me to like some institute and like physically tying me with like some belts and shit. Like, even though the belts weren't physically there, it kind of felt like they were like restrained. I constantly this year, 2025, dealt with like psychological torture, emotional, mental, physical, on any and every capacity way. And that changes a person. My beliefs were definitely gosh, like my beliefs of reality and what I thought and knew were just tested to the highest cores, in ways I never, ever fucking thought imaginable. Very, very extreme. And that led me to living with the worst PTSD, panic attacks, and anxiety attacks. They started in April, and I almost don't like to even talk about it because I don't want to like trigger something in my body. But for the sake of this conversation, let's just have it. Just so you have a little bit of an understanding of what I went through this year, because it's really unfathomable to me. You know, sometimes it's like you don't need to be like an actual slave to endure torture, you know, like you don't actually need to be a hostage taken to Gaza to like endure like some serious fucking mind fucking torture. Just, you know, it's like, yeah, like you can't measure pain and it's not linear and there's no like guideline to pain and torture and mind fucks. And I really struggle with all of this. I'm obviously in a better place right now, but so since April to late August, I was living with crazy amount of anxiety and PTSD and like panic attacks, anxiety, PTSD. My body, mind and soul was just completely traumatized, like repeatedly on steroids and crack. Not literally, I did not do crack. I don't know if you know me. I'm the last person to do that, but I mean like to a very, 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 very extreme state. I'm a very tough bitch. I'm really tough. I can handle a lot. I'm also very, very extremely sensitive, but I've gone through a lot in my life. I've seen darkness. May I never see darkness again. Please, God. And I have dealt and held my share of trauma in this lifetime. Nothing could have prepared me for what I went through this year. I went through trauma in so many different categories throughout my life. Nothing could have prepared me for what I went through this year. And that's why I feel like my panic attacks and anxiety lasted for a psycho amount of time, just completely psycho. Like, so from April to August, every day, multiple times a day, like crazy panic attacks and anxiety. I literally thought I had like a disease at one point. I literally thought that I had like blood sugar issues or maybe diabetes or insulin issues. I like went and bought a machine because my arms wouldn't go numb and I would have panic attacks in restaurants and like have to just run out. I couldn't be in public by myself. If I did, I would fucking panic. I went to the ER multiple times for my panic attacks. I just kept thinking I'm fucking gonna die. Then things got a little bit smoother towards the end of August. Not perfect. It just kind of went through like a roller coaster where like there was just like really heightened states of this trauma and panic and whatever. And it got a little bit like did it? Like did it? I don't know. I can say that I got a little bit better in September, but like who the fuck am I kidding? Like I just like have a moment where I just like flash through like how psycho fucking September was. We were living in and out of hotels, checking in and checking out every 2 to 3 days because we were like essentially homeless. And I'm like, was it really better? Okay, but like September had less panic attacks, but then like October, I lost it. It just all came back. And it was so bad. Yeah, it's really fucking crazy and traumatizing. It's never how I thought my first year of marriage would look. It's never how I thought me turning 40 was gonna look. God, there's like so many things to say, but I'm just kind of giving you context. And like, see, I even talk about this and I do feel like pain in my chest, which I haven't felt like in a while, but I just know that the body remembers. Deep breath. I am safe. You know how many times I had to practice like saying that to myself in like Las Vegas casinos, because we kind of like lived in Las Vegas casinos for a few weeks. And every time I'd want to get breakfast, I'd have to sit and like ground my feet into the ground and like do breathing exercises and pray to God that I can just eat without panicking, fainting, passing out in a restaurant. It was so nuts, you guys. Like, what the fuck is life? I can't even believe the shit that I went through. But like, I know I'm like, there's so much mystery. I'm not really saying like everything. I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything, to be honest. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of like a mini backtrack, but me and Ben, my husband, met. So I moved to Miami 2 weeks before COVID. I moved into this building because God in the universe told me to. When COVID hit, I was here by myself. I didn't know anybody. My dad and my mom were like, go back to LA. And I'm like, no, God sent me here. And like, I sounded like a crazy person, but like, that was the fucking truth. He did send me there. He sent me there to meet the love of my life, right? I just didn't know it, but I trusted, and I knew something to some capacity. I didn't know that like Ben was going to be here. I just knew that I'm supposed to be here and I'm not going. And then like fast forward a couple months later, October 2020, I meet Ben he lived in the same exact apartment condo that I did. And he lived 4 floors down from me. And we met in an elevator in the apartment complex during COVID. And he was kind of, I mean, I won't say he was my first friend in Miami, but like he was kind of like my second. My first friend was like Miguel, which was the doorman, who is the most fabulous gay Black guy ever, who grew up in the Bronx and moved to Miami at the same time that I did, the same week. So we kind of really bonded on that, beyond the fact that we're both like, we just click. You know how you just meet people and you just fucking click? Like, it's like you've known them your whole life. It just makes sense. You speak the same language, you think the same, and you just get each other. And it doesn't need to make sense to anybody. Like, that's like me and Miguel. Like, we like think the same. Like, we just get each other. Like, we could just look at each other and we just know what the other person's saying. And Miguel was the sweetest doorman ever. It was really like a movie. Like when me and Peanut first moved, he was so cute. Like, there are things a doorman are not supposed to do. And like Miguel just was like, fuck it, I'm going to help you. And he like helped me carry because I ordered all these furnitures and heavy outfit to my apartment. And he like helped me like pick up like heavy couches and shit to like bring into my house. He was amazing. So Ben was like my second friend. But I met Ben in the building. And by the way, I would have never met Ben. I mean, not that I would have never met Ben, because like, whatever, he's my soulmate and all the things. But like, without Miguel, I wouldn't have taken Ben seriously, because Miguel was like pushing me to like date Ben and like wanting all the details and telling me how cute he is and trying to like get me to talk to Ben for a while. So Miguel is always an important person in our love story. But we had essentially like lived in 2 different units, and we met and we dated. And then I left my apartment, and then I was gonna like move somewhere else because we weren't even dating. Like, we kind of broke up for a bit, and then we got back together, and I stayed at his house. And then like he went and rented a different unit on the other building, because there's 2 buildings. And then we like started dating, and then we like moved into this 1 bedroom together. And we lived there, I don't know, like a little over a year. And then we moved into our 2-bedroom apartment that was like a penthouse overlooking the ocean, sunset, sunrise view. Balcony was massive. We could have put 200 people on our balcony. It was beautiful and it was magical and it was a dream. And we basically lived in this apartment complex in 4 different units for 5 years. So we knew that it was time to leave because we just wanted something. There was a lot of reasons why we left, but we just wanted something bigger. We wanted something different. We felt like, okay, like this chapter is over. We met here. We fell in love here. We survived COVID here. We got, we dated. We fell in love. We got engaged. We got married. Like, what's next? And it's just kind of like that. There were a lot of beautiful things that happened in this place. And then there were obviously a lot of tragic, fucked up things that happened. Like I had like a really bad miscarriage. In what year was that? In 2023. That like, also I almost died in. Like there are just a couple of things that were really traumatic that also happened through those 5 years. And we just kind of felt like it's time to go somewhere else. There's more to that story on a different podcast episode, but it was time. But like, same, like, how do I tell the story without telling the story? But like, I'm not ready to tell the whole story yet. But basically, I'm just going to skip through it. So we went from living in our place to putting our things in storage and then living out of hotels and Airbnbs for 4.5 months. We lived in Tulum for a month. Fuck, that was like, damn, that was some crazy ass fucking shit, to say the least. I literally get chest pain just even talking about this to you guys. Like, that's how traumatized I am. And I've been good for a while. And then from Tulum, we had gone to, like, get us the fuck out of Mexico. Oh my God, getting out of Mexico is difficult. Getting into Mexico. Oh, no, wait, hold on. We went from Miami to Orlando, from Orlando to Tulum, Mexico, from Tulum, Mexico to LA. We stayed in LA for like 2.5 weeks. And then we went to Vegas for like 3 weeks. Then we went to Arizona and then to Sedona. And then we went to Florida, and then we were in Florida for a really long time. I'm going to say this. I never wanted this sort of psycho-ass arrangement. Like, I wanted to, like, move out of our place and move into another place, but that's not what happened. And everything I said would happen obviously happened because I'm obviously more experienced than Ben. And it's like, I'm 40. I was ready to start a family, and I just gotten married. And I mean, I was 39, but like not 40. My birthday was in August, but Ben like wanted and needed to do this travel thing. And I guess like, damn, like there's a lot of things you got to learn when you're married, and there's a lot of times where you're not really down, but you got to fucking join the ride. There's more to the story. But I didn't want this fucking, I'm a homeless gypsy boho living out of hotels, like, fucking life. Like, no, thank you. I did that shit when I was younger. I used to, like, put my shit in storage, go to different countries, live in different places, live in Israel, put my things in storage, go here, move here, travel. Like, I've done this fucking rodeo way too many times, and I know the kind of chaos that's attached to it. And, like, I did not want this, which was probably one of the many reasons that like caused me to have such panic, because I just felt so unsafe. It was all, like stability is related to root chakra. I really have to breathe through this podcast episode. Stability, safety, protection is root chakra. My root chakra has always been my weakest chakra, because I never felt like I had these things growing up. I never felt like I had safety, stability, protection. I had to always create that for myself. But then at the same time, nothing felt safe. Nothing felt protected. So I guess I became everyone's protector, right? But I had like safety and protection and stability, being with Ben, and all of a sudden somebody pulled the fucking rug from underneath me, and I felt like I was like literally choking and dying and drowning, and someone's pushing my head underneath the water, and I like can't like survive. I can't like fight for myself to like not die. So not having a home, but also not having a home to go to. Like, what I mean by that is, like, when I was younger in my 20s, And I would do these things where like, I don't know, I'd live in a place, I'd put my things in storage, I'd go visit my mom in Israel for a month. If I wanted to, I'd always extend it and stay there for 2 or 3 months. And then I'd go to Italy, and then I'd go this, and then I'd go hang out at my dad's house for a while, and I'd leave some things in Israel, and I'd leave some things in, it's like I always had like a safety net to go back to whenever I had these like crazy ideas of like changing my identity, moving to New York and, being a fashion designer, being on Broadway, or just these like fantasy world of identities that I've just wanted to do in this lifetime. I always had a safety net. I always had a place to come back to, even though it wasn't the best, it wasn't the most comfortable. Obviously have to sleep on the couch or with my sisters or like some weird fucking arrangement. But in this situation, so I did that multiple times, but in this situation, we literally had nowhere to go to. We're, it's like our families, so we don't talk to our dads. Ben's mom and brother live in Israel. We can't bring the dogs to Israel. My mom had just moved to America with my sisters and my sister, and they were kind of living with my brother. And so there was like no place for us to go to if something went wrong, if we like needed more time, if we needed like some money, if like there was no place to go to, which like obviously created like so much anxiety in this process. And the initial idea was to do this for 2 to 3 months. And that was what I tried to tell Ben originally. I'm like, listen, you can't like even say that, because what ended up resulting was 4.5 months of living like this, which is nothing I ever wanted. But it's like, and I knew that that's the reality of shit, right? But I felt like I was willing to endure a timeline of like 3 months max. And so, like I said, I had panic attacks from April to August. We left our house end of June. So it's like July and August. Mind you, like in July, like I was like, I fucking hate this shit. This is the worst idea ever. All of August, like complete torture. In September, I'm like, okay, like we're finding a house. Like we kind of have a direction. We kind of know areas. We kind of, okay. And I thought like 2,000,000% that we were going to find a place to live in September. That was our goal. But it's like you have your timeline, and then there's God, and he has his own timeline, right? And it's not always what we want. And we fell in love with this magical place that I still fantasize and dream about and think that like, I don't know, in a parallel universe, there is a timeline where I like fucking lived there, and I might live there one day. I don't fucking know. But I've never been more sure about a place that I thought I was going to live at. And we had applied to live there. I'm going to talk about this place. This place was in West Palm Beach, and it was just magical. It was kind of giving Monaco, Cannes, the south of France vibes. West Palm Beach has a lot of like yachts and just billionaires and millionaires. And this was a very luxury building, and it had its own yacht club. And it basically had this like restaurant, bar, lounge thing on the water where yachts can dock and like grab lunch or like grab a drink or like whatever. And you needed like an exclusive membership for this. Or you lived in the building and then you just get like an automatic access to this place. And this place was very dreamy. It reminded me a lot of the other place that we lived at for 5 years. It's kind of like very similar building, but everything was just brand new. Everything was massive. It was just like, there was so much space. The closet was goals. The view was like of the ocean. And the ocean is so crystal clear. Everything was brand new. It's a brand new building. All the appliances were so nice. Like it just like met all the boxes. But like we had applied for the building, and like something went wrong with our application process and we got rejected. And I fucking lost it. Lost it. I went into like a coma, depression, anxiety, like literally like practically like suicidal. Like I want to fucking die. Okay. Like it was that serious, because we had looked for apartments for like religiously for like weeks and weeks. And I finally, I'm like, this is it. And not only that, but the address was 444. And if you know anything about me, that's my angel number. I wear a necklace that says 444. And I was literally the address. And the name of the building, like, it's just everything. Everything was so fucking aligned that, like, I still can't wrap my head around, like, what the fuck? Like, I saw our entire fucking future there. Like, I still can't process it. But we had basically applied for it at the end of September. And I thought, like, October 1st, we're moving there. I was doing Yom Kippur, which is a holiday for Jews where you fast. So you fast and you can't use electricity. And you like daven for your sins. And you can't use like electricity, and you fast for like 26 hours. So there's not much to do. You can just like sleep, read a book, I don't know, talk to people, talk to your partner, maybe play like a board game. Like, there's not much to do. So like what I did, I was reading a book too about like doing this liver gallbladder cleanse, and sleeping. But additionally, I was just visualizing, manifesting like I thought the fucking place was ours. Like, I still can't process it, but like I was visualizing like every piece of furniture, what I was going to do in every single room, our life there, like this whole story and this whole vision that I had in my head. And then like, I don't know, I thought after Yom Kippur, we were going to get like approved, and literally the rug was like pulled from underneath me. And I just couldn't accept the thought that like, that's not our place. Like, there has to be a mistake. Like, there's no fucking way. And so my anxiety and my panic attacks were getting better in September. They were like almost non-existent, even though I was living in crazy survival mode. But I was getting better, and I was actually losing weight because I had gained a lot of weight from like eating out, not sleeping, being in survival, and my body literally thinking that it's dying, or like, you know, it's just this like crazy level of anxiety. I had gotten like gray hair from like stress and anxiety and multitasking and just like living like a fucking rock star minus the drugs. And I was starting to like lose weight, and I was starting to get like healthy. And then the moment that this happened, like my world came tumbling down, and my panic attacks just went from 1 to like 1,000. Like back to like having panic attacks like 2 to 3 times a day, every day. Wow. You know, like even like when we were like in Mexico, my panic attacks were so bad that I would cry. I would be sleeping and I would wake up from my sleep crying. Panic, full-blown panic. That has never fucking happened to me my entire life, you guys. I didn't even know that's like a thing. Because I'm like an REM deep sleeper, multi-dimensional astral projector kind of a girl that's lucid dreaming. Like, I get into deep sleep. I understand the brain waves, all the things, alpha and gamma, right? Like, but like, I was in such a horrific state that like I would wake up like crying and screaming in the middle of the night like someone was murdering me, okay? It was obscene, and I couldn't control it. It was fucking crazy. I would cry for hours, and like, it was very foreign to me. It was very new to me. I don't know, it's some shit from the movies, but like, that's how traumatized I was. I would just cry, and I wouldn't know why I'm crying, and then it would just all come out. I'd wake up bed, I'm like, I can't breathe, and I'd start freaking out, and then whatever it is, it would just like come out of my mouth. Like, he'd be like, what's going on? And I wouldn't even know what was going on. And then it just like come out. Like, I miss my family, or like, I want to, like, I don't know, whatever it was. And I was like, I'm not okay. Like, I would just lose it. That happened. I swear, like, what the fuck have I been through? Like, I have been through some shit, you guys. I've been through so much trauma in my life. Like, I've never cried from my sleep. That actually happened multiple times. It also happened in Orlando. I didn't even know like how to even like navigate that. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I'm supposed to even do with myself in this like situation. But yeah, kind of wild. But so this had like gone away, and then it like came back in like October. It was like the end of the world for me. I just couldn't conceptualize that that place was not going to be ours. And I kept fucking fighting it. I was like, no. Like, I tried fixing anything I could. I was like fighting for an apartment, and it kept being taken by someone else. And like, what the fuck? I was like being tortured. So then everything came back. And then a miracle bestowed upon us, and we found our place that I am talking to you in now. And it's so wild, you know? It's like, gosh, it's so wild. Like, no one will ever, 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 ever endure or understand what the fuck me and Ben went through in these 4.5 months. Like, none of our families, none of our friends, no one can conceptualize the torture and the instability and the madness that we went through. I can't even believe I went through it. Like, it makes me want to cry for myself. And I don't even fucking do feel sorry for me parties. Just the such a high level of just feeling lost and confused, and just all the fucking things. Like, tell me, like, when the fuck is this nightmare gonna be over? But like people think it's cool to sleep in a hotel. No, it's not. Like, you know, people are like, you should be grateful. I'm like, I would be fucking grateful if I had a house. Like, nobody understands the story of like what we had gone through this year. And I'm gonna like reveal a lot of it, I hope, if I can, if I'm like emotionally okay. Like, I told you guys, like, I'm getting a chest pain, like even talking about all the shit, and I've been good for a while. But like, trauma lives in the body for sure. But like, what I will say is like longing, we were longing for like our own shower. Like, we were longing for like the most basic shit. Like, just, we couldn't cook for ourselves. Like, you know me, I'm like a health freak. Like, the fact that I have to eat out like every fucking meal was just torturous to me. The things that I experienced in hotel life was just so horrible. And I just, yeah, I don't know how to explain this to anybody. Like, just, and it wasn't just me and Ben, right? It's like me and Ben and our dogs and like 100 suitcases. And like, wow, like the anxiety of it all, like the crazy road trips that we pulled off. It's just insane. But like, the thing is, we just so longed for a home so we left our other apartment because we had a 2-bedroom, 2 baths, and we wanted something bigger because we want to like have a family and stuff. And it just, even like if we didn't want to have a family, which we do, it's like, we feel like Ben needs his own office. I need my own office. We both work from home. And we wanted originally a 3-bedroom, but it felt like it's nearly impossible because in Florida, wherever there's 3 bedrooms, they just get snatched right away. And essentially, when we found this magical building that I was like obsessed with, we both were obsessed with it. We were like, okay, we kind of compromised, and we were gonna get like a 2-2 again, but it was a lot bigger, so it was gonna work. And then like when we got like rejected for it, someone else took it off the market, and I was waiting for it to be back in the market, and then it wasn't for a really long time. And I were like, fuck, like we really want to live here. So we were like really willing to like go for like a 1-bedroom, 1 bath, even that seemed like fucking insane. But at this point, we've been living in like kind of like a studio, not even a fucking 1-bedroom in all these hotels, where it's like even a 1-bedroom just seemed like better than whatever the fuck we were doing. And plus, we were spending so much money on these pieces of shit, fucking disgusting as fuck 3-star hotels. Just the things, the mold, I can't. I literally just can't. Wow. Okay. So we almost ended up, we applied for like a 1-bedroom. And it's just so wild that like what we ended up getting was a 3-bedroom, 3 baths with a garage and a fucking house. And what the fuck? Like, it's so nuts that we were just like so desperate that we were just willing to like We're like, is it really too much to ask? Just like, we were willing to take like fucking almost anything at the place that we were at. We just like begged and prayed for like this kind of a timeline, where we just have peace. We've just been seeking peace this entire year. And I guess that kind of like leads me to, it kind of leads me back into like where I was last year, where I am now. You know, being in this new era of my life, I thought, you know, it's like I thought so many things, and thank God I'm a lot better. You know, like having this conversation has just been like, rah. It's like just like bringing back like so much trauma in my body. But we just wanted the simplicity of doing nothing. I'm not having to pack up the car. I'm not having to run. I'm not having to like, I think that a lot of, I mean, there's so many reasons why I had panic attacks, but like one of the reasons was like we would wake up in the morning and it's like I didn't know when I was going to drink water, when I was going to have my first meal, if I was going to have a meal, like, because we were just in, like, sometimes we had cars, sometimes we didn't, sometimes we were in a foreign country, sometimes everything would be closed, sometimes things would go just like not according to plan, and I literally would wake up every day like in panic, like, am I gonna have, do we have enough water, do we have enough food? Like I felt like I'm like, oh, like what the fuck, like it's so gnarly, you guys. I dreamed of the days where I can cook my own meals and do certain things, and I really also couldn't wrap my head around like why the fuck this shit was taking so long. Like, okay, like in the past in my life when things would go wrong, it would go wrong for like a couple of months and then it's like, okay, you know, but like for this long, over a year, like what? Like I can't conceptualize, like I just can't, like almost a year and a half, like I just can't conceptualize like being in the face for like a year. Like I cannot, I still can't. I feel like a year and a half of my life was like stolen from me. I don't know where I get like, where do I get like my refund, please? I'd like another year and a half of life added to my timeline so that I don't miss out on shit. But anyways, I'm gonna say this. There's so much more stories that are gonna come up. A lot of different things. A lot of lessons, a lot of crazy shit. I have a lot of exciting things that I can share to you from like the last year. Lessons, experiences, so many freaking things. But in the last, these 4.5 months of living on the road, plus everything that I had endured, it's like there's multiple timelines happening. But from planning my wedding, I'm gonna rewind back. There was a version of me that was required to plan my extravagant, big, fancy, wild Italian destination wedding. I was like exposed to things that I had never encountered, like in a good way, in a cool way. So I guess like within planning my wedding, I endured a lot of very beautiful things. You know, I like tried on couture gowns. I have couture gowns in my closet that were customized for me. I went to see a lot of these like vintage castles and venues, and I had like candlesticks that were vintage and just these like classic, elegant, timeless pieces. And like, because I literally research and design and find every little fucking detail to my wedding. But I had like, so there was that, and then there was all these trips to Italy, and then there's just like, I don't know, it's like I feel like in 2024, I was like exposed to these beautiful pieces of arts, whether it's like in the fashion industry or the architecture of like, you know, like these beautiful villas and chateaus and castles in Italy, and these vineyards and this like timeless beauty. There's that. There's the couture and just these timeless things that are just so beautiful. This kind of like luxury, I don't know, magical, whimsical thing, but also elegant and classy. But like there's that part, and then there's like this the life that Italians have in Italy, this like very slow life. We had made a few trips to Italy the last few years. The year that we got married, we went there like 3 times, I believe. And before our wedding, we spent like a week in Italy before our wedding, and then like a month after our wedding in Italy. So it's kind of like it was like a month and a half in Italy. And we did road trips in Tuscany and just like all these places. And I feel like I've talked about this like from what I remember in the past. But there's just this beauty of just eating these like natural foods, and the water is clean, and people like sit and stroll around like, I don't know, like it's 1990 all over again. And old couples sit on benches holding hands, and people, are so passionate about their vineyards and cheese and like food. And there's just this like charm that Italy has, that Europe has. Maybe it's like Italy and like the south of France, like Monaco, and just there's this energetic that I'm just obsessed with that like kind of changed me. And then there is this whole, what do I want to call it? Like, what we endured. I don't know how to explain it, but like, I was living in hotels for 4.5 months. Like, it was very eye-opening to something that like, it's so crazy. I'm the travel blogger who used to just like thrive off of staying in hotels. Obviously, the hotels that I stayed at as a travel blogger were luxury, and I'm a luxury travel blogger, and I stayed at 5-star hotels, the nicest in the world, literally. And while we were doing this thing, we obviously stayed at like 3-star hotels. We stayed at hotels that had mini kitchens, like the Residence Inn, hotels that can like host a dog, hotels that like the prices weren't psycho during the summer. Like there were a lot of things that we had to navigate. But like the more we stayed in hotels, the more disgusted I was from hotels. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's a vibrational feeling. This level of neglect, this level of just, ew, like, who fucked on this bed? What happened here? Like, a lot of times we were given rooms that were like, how the fuck do you even rent this to somebody? Like, are you out of your fucking mind? It's like these abandoned, disgusting stains. Looks like cum stains on the fucking wall. Like, I don't know, like disgusting stains on the floor, like blood shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like rooms with like mold in the ceiling. And like, I'm like a crazy, nothing was ever as it seemed. I'm like so detail oriented, and nothing ever looked like the pictures online. Like, even though I read the reviews, even though we were just dealt with such like fucking, doesn't matter, even in Vegas, 5-star hotels, 3-star hotels, there was always some crazy fucking shit. And there is a part of me that like changed. I don't know. And just the exposure of just like human beings. Like I'm like a homebody. I'm like an introvert. Like just the amount of humans and loudness and madness, it just all changed me. Like all I want to do is be cooped up in a fucking house wearing beautiful dresses that I wasn't able to wear, and I just want to nest. I just want to be in my house. I don't want to leave. I just want to cook myself meals. I don't want to eat out like fucking ever again. Like just let me like cook my clean, healthy meals and have my home, and I don't need to leave it for like 2 weeks. Like I'd be a really happy camper. Like it's so fucking weird. I don't know if any of this makes sense. I feel like most people, they live in their house. They're like, the fuck is Kim talking about? It's just fucking crazy. Like, everyone dreams to travel. Like, no, not the way that we did, okay? Nobody wants to travel the way we did. I don't wish that upon my enemies, okay? Like, quite literally. It was psycho. It was not good. So many crazy things happened in Tulum. Ben got stuck in an elevator, and oh my God. And then I got stuck in an elevator in a hotel. We were stuck in thunderstorms. We were stuck without power. We were stuck without water, without hot water, without running water. Like the things that we endured, I have no words on the kind of shit that me and Ben endured. Dude, fucking the panic attack that I had when I got stuck in the Aloft hotel. in Miami, and I did not have service on my phone. I thought I was gonna fucking die, and there was no AC. Oh my God. I thought my life is over. That happened actually not that long ago. That happened in October to add to my crazy stress level. But I guess, like, here's the thing. God doesn't give you always what you want. He gives you what you need. I'm going to say that again. God doesn't always give you what you want. He gives you what you need. I'm so grateful for a house. It's funny. It was in Miami the whole time, and me and Ben were driving to like Clearwater and Tampa and Naples and like fucking West Palm Beach and Jupiter and like, oh my God, where the fuck did we not go? Delaware. We like went up and down the entire Florida from all angles looking for our perfect place. And there is I kind of felt like there's like kind of I felt like I'm at a crossroad, and I actually told my best friend Kelly about this today. I felt like I was at a crossroad for, in September when we were looking for a place, and in October, where I felt like two different versions of me can be like birthed. And I didn't know which one to lean into, and who was I about to become and what was about to become. I just wanted the fucking change. I just wanted the new life. I just wanted it already. But I saw kind of like two different versions, which I still feel like I can mold into oneness in like my own interesting way. But and there was a specific character avatar that I had built up in my head of like the version of me that I would become if I had moved into this fancy yacht club in West Palm Beach that I wanted to. There was something really attractive about the energetics of West Palm Beach. There's something very calming there. Very calming there. We love the energy there. It feels good. It feels good for the soul. It feels like a place. So it's like we knew that we needed a place to heal from everything that we had endured these last 2 years, from planning the wedding, when we got engaged, like from planning the wedding to getting married to being newlyweds to everything that's happened in the last year. Like, we knew that we just want to fucking heal our fucking souls out, regulate our nervous system, create grounding, create stability, create just like fuck, like just let us be put still and don't move us. And I had created this like character where like life is very calm, and it's like I kind of want this slow life. I don't want this hustle culture. Like that's one of the things that like I already knew that I didn't want hustle culture, even though I'm naturally like a go-getter and I'm naturally like a hustle culture kind of a girl. It's fun to me, but it's also really bad for your nervous system. And I do definitely get this. I take after my dad when it comes to the shit. And my mom, but just like in different ways. But I guess my point is when I went to Italy, planning our weddings, going to like Garda, like, knowing we want to have a house there, wanting to purchase like a vineyard, like a cottage, a vineyard, a villa. No, not like a cottage, like a villa, like kind of more bigger. Just like a few acres of land in Italy. And have these slow summers with clean food and growing like my own veggies, which I don't really feel comfortable doing that in America, to be honest, with all the chemtrails and all the sprays and all the shenanigan that goes on here. I knew I wanted the slow life because it felt so good after the wedding and every time I visit Italy. And then when I traveled and did the psycho-ass thing for 4.5 months, I knew more than ever that I need a slow life. Like the chaos shit is just... nope, it's not coming where I'm going. The madness, the go, 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 the conquer, like this psycho need to like, no, just no. It's very hard for me. I will say that. It's not an easy, natural thing for me to say this. But what I'm going to say is that I knew that I needed that more than ever in these 4.5 months. Like the hustle culture was just like, fuck no. I knew I wanted to build a business around the slow life that I want to build for myself, for us, for our future, for how we want to raise our children. And so there's like this avatar version of me where I really thought that was the vibe in West Palm Beach. It was very calm. It was very healing. But there was also this character that I had I always ask myself, like, what version of me can I be in this place? Does it carry the frequency that I want to match? Does it match the frequency that I'm trying to become? Every place that I move to, I always feel like is an invitation to reinvent myself, to reevaluate my identity, to release what no longer serves, all the things. I still can't believe that we stayed in Miami. I really thought God did not want me here, for many reasons. But I really thought I saw this avatar of like this girl, right, in like this yacht club with multi-millionaires and billionaires and the types of connections and the type of life that we would have and the type of friends, but in West Palm Beach. But it was not going to be the calm life. And that was the thing about this place. This place had like a fucking, not a nightclub, but like, and that's so not me, and it's so not Ben, but like we just fucking fell in love with this place. And if you saw pictures, you'd understand. It's just like, I feel like it's every person's dream. It was like they play like music, like I think like 5 days of the week. And it's like till what? Till like 11, I think like from 12 p.m. to like 11 p.m. Like music, kind of like this loungy music, kind of like upbeat, loungy music, like kind of giving club, and like and it's like, is this where I want to raise my children? And it was like, no, but maybe for the beginning. And I did even get a download of that. I saw like a baby crib in this unit, and like in my downloads, like I just saw it, like it was weird. It was weird as though it had already happened. I don't know how the fuck to explain that to someone. I had like a download. Like I was walking through the house. I wasn't even thinking about a baby or anything. And as I was walking, this is what made me like feel like it was really my house. As I was walking through the room, I was thinking about like my office and how I was going to put furniture. And all of a sudden I saw like a baby crib in this. And I was like, maybe, like, it just made me feel like for sure this is it. But also it was like, maybe we can make this work. So it was between living in like a fancy building or living in more of like a house or a townhouse or like something, but I wanted it to be new. And I always knew, though, here's what I always knew. I always knew that, like, I don't know, there's like these memes on Instagram. Like you ask, like you think of a rose and God gives you like a bush full of thousands of roses. It's like you think like this tiny thing and I always know this to be true. Like, be patient, my child, and you will get like tenfolds of what you desire. You'll get the perfect situation, but the universe needs time to rearrange. God needs time to rearrange things in order for you to get the perfectly aligned situation that is for exactly what you crave and need and what is meant to be yours. But sometimes we as humans just don't have patience. And literally my soul was running on a very low battery, but so we kept looking at different houses, and all the houses were kind of old and they smelled like mold, and like even though they were renovated, they still smelled like mold. And it's so incredible that we ended up manifesting a brand new place that no one's ever lived at. It's brand new, out of the fucking bags. So God gives you not what you want, and gives you what you need. And we didn't have to compromise for the 1 bedroom. We got the 3. So it's like 3 bedroom, 3 baths, a garage. It's brand new, like we wanted. It's different though. It's like we have a fucking house. Like, it feels so different. And not only that, but my childhood friend that I've known for like close to 30 years. I'm trying to think of the timeline. My childhood friend from LA, who's Israeli, literally, her and her husband live across the street from us. When I say across the street, I mean literally across the street. Like, we wave to each other from each other's living room. We have the same exact house. And they have 3 beautiful, amazing children, and we love them so much. And my friend has always felt like family to me. She used to date my brother. They went to prom together. Like, I used to be her camp counselor in the Israeli Scouts that my parents made me go to. She's a really good friend for so many years, and it's such a blessing to have her live across the street from me, because we just do the most funnest things, like we do like, Shabbat dinners every Friday together, and I cook a little and she cooks a little, and we do, kiddush, which is like blessing on the Shabbos, and we just like walk with them everywhere, and we love their kids, and their kids like just come to our house all the time, and they love our dogs, and we do like pajamas, what do we call it? Pancakes and pajamas on Sunday, and it's just so much fun. We have like wine night and cheese nights, and it feels like home here. And what's wild is, which is something I also knew about this place, is that, when it's meant to be, it just happens so fucking fast. You don't even realize how fast you can just like cheat time and space. And it's crazy because from the time that we saw this place to the time where we got the keys to move in, it was less than 24 hours. Like, imagine. I just think that's so fucking crazy. Like, I love it. It's a story for the books, but like we literally came to the place, we saw it, we applied for it, we got approved the next morning. We were filling out. Oh, that was a crazy story too. We knew the leasing lady. She was our leasing lady in the other building, and she had moved to this building. So she was helping us. And our next door neighbor, the ones that I just talked about, her husband is a real estate agent, and they were helping us. And wow, we literally got approved and everything went through, and we got the keys in less than 24 hours. We then like ran, did a cashier's check. Like, we were just like in shock. But like the other place, it was like fucking pulling teeth. It was pulling teeth. And I applied for the building there multiple times, and every single time they would ask for things that we didn't even fucking have, like paperwork of things that we didn't even fucking have. And here, it's just, everything went so fucking smoothly. It's actually fucking insane. I still can't believe it. So I always know that about God, that what is meant to be yours, when you get what is yours, it just happens. It's effortless. It just comes to you. It's out of flow. And so I'm going to go back to the fact that I had this like character of like this type of a woman that I thought I was going to be if I lived at that building called the Icon. And then I had this other vision of who I would become had we move into a home, an actual house. And I was kind of contemplating moving into a house because, I don't know, something about it creeps me out. I don't know. I used to get scared to be home alone at my parents' house. I would like hear things. I don't know. Sixth sense girl up in here. But like, I had a vision for the girl I would become when I find my place and when I find my peace. And so I'm going to wrap this episode up by saying a couple of different things for all the lessons and things that I have already mentioned. But I didn't know what chapter and who I'm stepping into. There were these little bits and pieces of, like I'm talking, I told you guys like the couture and the wedding and the Italy and like this like different era, different version of myself that I was very attracted to. And then like, there's a part of it, I want to reiterate this. There's a part of it that's luxury, yes. But there's a part of it that's timeless. And if there is one thing that always like stuck with me, will probably stick with me for the rest of my life, is something my mom always says. She always tells me, Khofit, you were just born in the wrong era. And nothing could be further from the truth. But I'm also an old soul. But I'm also meant to be in this timeline, right? But there is things about my soul, my identity, my attraction to specific things, but also my personality and my morals and values that don't align with this world that we live in, with this 2025 world. Like, it's like I expect like humans to have like, integrity and morals and values and respect and loyalty. And my mom always tries to tell me like, Khofit, you're just born in the wrong decade. Like, you want things that just don't exist in this world. And I'm like, no, they do. I know that they do. Like, they have to exist. Like, I wouldn't be this way if they don't exist. And that's fucked up. And I'm not settling for less, So there's like this aspect, but there's also this like very whimsical version of me that you guys know. I'm like a 40-year-old stuck in like I don't know, a 6-year-old princess. Like, I don't know how else to put it, right? There's this like very whimsical, dreamy, like, I don't know what to call it, like vibe style version of me that believes in magic and believes in fairy tales and believes in Prince Charming and wants to live in a castle and thinks like, I don't know, some like 1800, 1700 kind of shenanigan, that wants to wear sparkly dresses and twirl around in castles and get married in a castle in Italy. And there's just this very, like whimsical, childlike girl that is, I don't know, maybe was a princess in her past life, like not even like sarcastically, like actually for real. I always wonder if I was like a princess or a queen or a public figure, like maybe like a famous actress, something in a past life. Like I've always kind of had this notion since I was a kid because of the things that I'm drawn to that just like kind of make no sense. Like I don't even know where I'd get half of this shit from. Yeah, like just randomness. But here's what I'm trying to say, essentially, is there is this luxury part that like, yes, you know, it was fun to explore the wedding stuff and the couture stuff, but there's also an aspect that I've always been very attracted to and drawn to, but like in recent time, like more than ever. And I obviously was a travel blogger and I loved to, you know, tour places in the world and hear about stories and things and see architectures and castles and things from the past, right? But like there is this version of me that like I recently like truly tapped into, and it's there's a luxury aspect, but there's also a quality aspect. And when I say that, everything nowadays is made so disgustingly cheap with chemicals and garbage. And sometimes, like, it's just crazy. Like, I've been doing a lot of online shopping, and like sometimes I see something so beautiful. I'm like, wow, I really want to buy things that are quality. Okay, I guess that's where I'm going at. I'll see this beautiful, like, $1,000 dress. And I'm like, oh, like, what is it made out of? If it's $1,000, right? And it's like polyester. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding? What the fuck? Like, are you shitting me? It's like that with clothes, but it's also like that with like furniture. Like, I want clean shit for my house. And it's like, you pay like $1 million that's made of fucking garbage, plastics, recycled plastics. Like, what kind of fucking world do we live in? And this like whole thing connects with like, just the hotel life exposure to just like hustle culture, making things cheap, trying to make things work, temporary, not thinking of like a future timeline, thinking of just here in the now in the moment, making things cheap, making buildings, hotels, using cheap fabric, like, I don't know, cheap shit that's like breaking and gross and disgusting. Like there's something so eerie and just gross about it to me that like I never felt like that previously. And I'm just really recently like really drawn to like I never understood why people bought like vintage shit, like vintage furniture. Like, what are you, fucking grandma? I totally get it now. I totally get it. I have a really good friend who like thrift stuff and she's a millionaire. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? But like, I totally get it now because just like things from back in the day were just made so different. Quality, gosh, like I can just go on and on. It's crazy. I'll just leave that for a different episode. But like there is something that's recently like I'm just so attracted to this not old, you know, but like this vintage high quality stuff, even when it comes to clothes, but also like when it comes to fashion, when it comes to architecture, when it comes to hotels, when it comes to furniture, like I'm so grossed out with like how we live nowadays in 2025. Like, you know, we're looking for apartments. So many apartments literally look like jail cells is what I told Ben. Like they don't even fucking put roofs on places. Like what the fuck, you know, like the prices versus what you're getting. A lot of these apartment complexes that we toured, and we fucking toured America, mostly Florida. We fucking tore the fuck out of buildings and places. Like it looks like fucking jail. Whether the balcony is made out of like these fucking cheap ass bars to like these windows that have no sunlight, like you're in a fucking jail cell, or there's no roofing on certain buildings. Like there's no character, there's no art. Like look at the architecture from like the 1700s or like the 1800s, and like look at what the fuck
we have now. Like, look at Europe versus America's like architecture. Like, I can just talk about this for 1,000 years, but there's something that I'm just like I'm so pushing back on, like, the modern world, you know? Like, I'm just grossed out from it. I'm grossed out from like the cheap shit, to the cheap chemicals, the fakeness of, like, I don't know. Like, why is it so fucking hard to find like a clean mattress or a clean couch or a clean carpet or a clean fucking dress or workout gear? Like, the shit drives me crazy. And there is this attraction that I have to like places in Europe that are timeless, like buildings that last forever. Like, look at like where we got married, like Villa Rizardi. It was built in 1670, I believe. And it's fucking timeless and it stands strong. And it was the first like princess garden, queen and, you know, like that beautiful garden that you see like princesses, Cinderella, like queens and kings and queens live in, you know, like those princess castles. They have like this garden, right, where like it's like a maze, you know. I'm obsessed with that. It was very important for me to get married at a place that had that kind of architecture, or like whatever, that kind of grass thingy. But Villa Rizardi, where we got married, that was the first garden of its kind in Italy. Like, how fucking timeless in that. And that place like stands forever. I'm just like really rejecting this like new world order, no, new world kind of a thing when it comes to like just architecture and fashion. And I've kind of been recently just kind of like diverting back to time and kind of investing my money and time and energy, and my style is really shifting because of all of this. I'm going to talk about this in future episodes. Let me know if any of this interests you. Let me know on Instagram or on YouTube or wherever you're hearing this, or comment on Apple, wherever it is, because I am really curious to know your opinion. But there's a luxury aspect, but then there's also this organic, slow life, living on a vineyard with like 3 or 4 kids, right? And like summers in Italy and just all the beautiful magical things. And then there is this girl who like doesn't want this hustle culture and doesn't want to be fucking staying at hotels like almost ever again. And just wanting peace and serenity and quiet and regulated nervous system, and God willingly like healthy pregnancies. And so I didn't know who I didn't know who I'm supposed to become in this next chapter. But only once we got the keys and once we got approved, because I didn't want to get too excited before anything, I started to actually, it's like I was so scared to visualize furniture and things and what I was going to do in each room until I got approved. But once we moved here, once we got the keys, once we were approved, I got these downloads of the type of life that I wanted, that I'm going to have in this house, the things that I want to create and do. I want the furniture, the style, the vibe, which is going to be inspired by a lot of the things that I experienced in Europe and in Italy. There's like a lot of these things that I'm taking with me to this house. It's 3-bedroom. We decided to convert, which was my idea, one of the bedrooms into a dining area, a dining room area where I want to be. I want to host like dinner parties and themes, which is like attached to the fact that I'm an incredible planner for events and stuff. So I'm really excited. Hopefully, God willingly, like this is a house that I'm gonna have my babies. So that's like super exciting and fun. Again, God willingly. I want to host dinner parties here. I want to furnish this place like really beautifully. I want to have these like timeless pieces. I'm in this phase where I'm changing like my style, like my fashion style, my hairstyle. I've been actually also considering coloring my hair a different color. I'm just like I'm in this very beautiful phase of new beginnings, God willingly. God willingly, please don't take it away. No, but there are so many things that I see now for our future. This house is going to be the house of healing. This is like, I've just been I guess like for the past month, so I've lived here for a month now. We've lived here for a month now. And I've just been nesting. I've been resting and nesting and taking my fucking sweet time. Both of us not rushing, just enjoying cooking and yeah, like enjoying cooking, enjoying the small things, literally having our neighbors across the street, my friends, like this feels like home. They're Israeli, so it's like our homeland language. Playing with their kids, like it's such a different version of the girl that I thought I would become at the the yacht club place. But this right now what I'm experiencing was the other alternative, and I feel like you can still mold both girlies into one. But um yeah, it's like God gives us what we need, and what we really needed was a sense of family, a sense of belonging. So we're back in Miami. We always miss our old place. We always drive by there. We go to like get a coffee there. We walk by there. So our old place is like 10 minutes drive. So it's very nostalgic and it makes us happy. And it's still the same neighborhood and the same stuff, more or less. And having our friends across from us just feels like home, and it feels really regulating and healing. And honestly, for me, just like playing with their children, I'm really good with kids, just like playing with their children and being childlike, which is why kids always love me because I'm very childlike. It's been so healing to me. And I've been going to the gym. I've started to go to the gym again, and I've been eating really healthy, and I'm getting into these my old habits that I've missed for so long, that were stolen from me for like literally a half a year, and it just feels so fucking good um to just heal. And since I've been here, I feel like this place also requires something else of me. It's actually making me like dig deep into where I see my career going. And I'm so glad I get to record this, FYI. What the heck? I've wanted to do this for so long. But like, yeah, it's like a couple of months ago, I saw a timeline of my career going in one way. I've been torn into a couple of different directions. But since I've moved here, there is a specific frequency that's like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, once you find your home and you feel the frequencies and the vibration, there's a very calm, peaceful energetics here that the hustle culture cannot, it's not the right vibration. It doesn't match our home energy. We're not in an apartment complex with a million people. Like, that's not the vibe. This is like home vibe. This is like family vibe. This is like creation vibe. It's very homey and cozy and just peaceful and quiet and uninterrupted, and blissful and pure and magical in its own way. It's like becomes magical. But like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that the old version of me had to die in order for me to be here. And I'm really excited about who I get to create here. Yeah, like I'm really excited for what this year has to offer me moving forward. It's definitely a year of healing. All I did in November, like I said, was nest and heal and take my fucking sweet time, and a lot of times not show up on Instagram and not like even work, I've been working behind the scenes and helping my Monet girls make money, but I've just been like trying to ground and like heal because I have to heal me. I want to have healthy pregnancies. I need to regulate my nervous system after everything that I'd gone through. My biggest goal was just not to have panic attacks. Like, living without panic attacks is such a blessing. And yeah, like I feel like there's a new me on the horizon. And I'm also like really exploring like what this looks like for my business, for my life. I've just been pondering around. I'm really like having like an identity shift, like 1000%. The fact that I even want to color my hair a different color is a psycho. But like the fact that like I've changed my house, I'm changing my furniture, I'm changing things around in my business. I've started to change my Instagram feed and started to rebrand. I want to change my hair color. It's just like this like identity thing that's shifting. And I think it's beautiful and exciting. And what's wild is I was really waiting. I do this thing, Monet. Monet is a shampoo company, a clean hair care company where I am obsessed with it. It's clean products. It makes your hair grow like crazy, makes your hair thick, longer, healthier, so fucking healthy. Girls have like literally hair past their fucking ass. Like it's insane, thick, beautiful, healthy hair. With these products that have literally changed my life. And I was really waiting for December because I joined Monet 2 years ago in December and I fucking killed it 2 years ago in December. And I was really waiting for this December to fucking kill it. And I even made like first of all, actually, I was having like a crisis. At the end of November, I was trying to figure out like, what do I do this month? And I wanted to do so much this month. And it was almost like I had talked to ChatGPT about it and he was just like literally like choking over all the things that I want to do. It was just too much. So I guess I realized, so I was like, okay, I want to do Monet. I want to hit, I want to make X amount of money with Monet. But I still need to fix my health, but I want to do podcasting, but I want to lose weight, but I want to get back to the gym and I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do that. And ChatGPT kind of made me realize that like what I'm not willing. So here's my priorities. My priorities is my health and my family. Those are my number one. Money and work and anything else is not my number one. My number one is health and family. AKA, I want to make first and foremost this home a home, the home that I've desired and died for in the last like half a year. I want to bring my health back because I want to have babies. I want to lose some weight. I want to get fit. I want to do some cleanses and detoxes and different things. I want to lower my inflammation levels. I've been juicing a lot. Some of you guys have seen that. And I am not willing to negotiate on that. This is my time to heal. And so I really thought that this month I'm going to fucking kill it at Monet. And I had such big goals and dreams, but I also realized that like maybe that's not realistic for this month. Like I still need time to heal. And sometimes you feel like you're in a race with the rest of the world, but I'm here to remind you that you're not. You're in your own timeline. You have your own goals. You have your own dreams. And sometimes they don't align with the rest of the world's timeline. Like it's a really great time right now. It's Christmas. A lot of people are buying gifts. Monet is a really great gift for a lot of people. And if you want a customized cart, let me know. But, you want to grab some products, like send me a message on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're hearing this. But it's like, I really thought that I was going to be focused as fuck this month. And I'm like, I'm actually not there yet. I'm not there yet. Like my house is 50% ready. I'm still waiting for a mattress. I've been sleeping on the couch, but I'm so grateful to sleep in my fucking couch, not some nasty fucking hotel's couch. Still waiting for the mattress. We're waiting for more furniture. And I just don't feel like, no, like I'm not doing the hustle culture shit. Like I'm not interested in that. So yeah, it's weird. It's like we have goals and we have dreams and sometimes they don't align with the rest of the world. And yeah, it sucks because it's Christmas and I would love to just have a fire up my ass, but I'm just not ready. I'm ready to heal. I want to prioritize me. I want the slow life. I want to not rush. And I also kind of want to teach the rest of the world to do that. But first I have to like full-blown master this shift. So I have so much more things that I want to share with you guys. More podcast episodes. So many things about what I went through this year, what Ben's went through this year. So much more episodes about so many things because holy fucking shit that I go through fucking... Whoa, some shit. I went through some fucking portal initiation madness. I'm really glad to be back on the podcast. And stay tuned for more episode. And I'm so grateful for anyone who's here, who's still listening. I love you so much, and I can't wait for you to hear the next episode.